There are a couple of options which are available to open a new workbook in Excel. You right click on the desktop, new, Excel, create a new workbook. Other option is this start menu. We'll write Excel, click on Excel, again a new workbook for us. There are few things which I want to discuss. This is a formula bar or function bar. We can see the content of a cell, or we can edit this content also of any cell. This is a name box. We can see the address of a cell. Right now you can see it is A1 because we are standing on A1. If I click on any other cell, you can see that I'm standing on F9, which is F column and 9th row. These are the tabs: Home tab, Insert tab, Page layout, Formulas and all. Under each tab we have a lot of options. Under these options you can see it is written as Clipboard, Font, Alignment. These are all groups. Under the Home tab we have a number group and we have all the options related to that group. Again, same way, Insert, Table, Illustrations, Charts and so on. And this whole thing is known as a ribbon. If you want to minimize this whole ribbon, you can click on this up arrow, it will get minimized, and vice versa to maximize it. This is a quick access toolbar where you can see save, undo, redo options. Under this you have this drop down arrow where you can create or add more commands to it. If I click on it, if I want to add any command, I click on cut, we can click on add and OK. So this cut command will get added into it. This is a status bar where you can see that ready is written. It means that Excel is ready to take actions from you. If I press F2 in any cell, you can see that edit is written because we are now in editing mode. There are few view options available. You can see that this is a normal view, page layout and page preview that we're going to see in printing options. This is zoom in, zoom out options available. And if you want to find any help from Excel, in that case you can click on this question mark or you can press F1 on your keyboard. If I click on this question mark and if I type in, for example, keyboard shortcut, let's say keyboard shortcuts, and if I press enter, you can see the list of options which are available from this help menu. And if I click on this keyboard shortcuts in Excel 2010, I can have a list of all the shortcuts which are available in 2010 that you can make a use of. The last point of this whole window is this file tab. If I click on it, you can see a lot of options are coming. Under this you can see this options, and again this is to customize the whole Excel program. Whenever you open new workbook, you have 3 number of worksheets with you. If you want, you can change that number from here. You can see if I click on this, you can see that it is from 1 to 255, any number you can get. And if I say put it at 10 and if I press OK, and whenever I open a new workbook in the future, I can have that number of worksheets. And the shortcut which I have used for opening a new workbook is Control N. Thank you. Before we go ahead and start performing any calculation in Excel, let's see how to enter data. This is a bit unusual kind of way to putting data in Excel. It is not like other applications. Let's see. I'm standing on A1 right now, and let's say if I write ABC Company Limited. Now you can see that my cursor is still blinking. It means that still I'm standing on that cell. And I know that I'm done with whatever I need to put it in. And if you talk about MS Word or MS PowerPoint, we type it and we leave it. But in Excel, if you want to commit anything in a particular cell, we have to either press enter or press tab after that. So if I press enter, now it will get committed into this cell. Now you can also see that the content of this cell is coming on A1 as well as on B1. But if you just look at it carefully, if I select cell A1, you can see the content is coming in this formula bar, which I have discussed earlier. Now if I click on B1, you can see nothing is appearing. It means the content is actually only in A1, but the length of the content is pretty much big. That is why it is only showing it on B1. If I write anything on this cell, let's say A, and if I press enter, you can see now it is not coming because a text is coming in the way. Now let me delete it, and here the way of putting it is either to expand the width of this column by clicking on it, this two-headed arrow and dragging it till the time you can see that it is fitting up in this column, or the other way is, which is the beautiful way, you can see this arrow, and if I double click on it, it will get in that cell. Now let's start writing few more things. If I write, let's say products, and I'm done with this, and then I'll press enter. A, enter. B, enter. C, enter. D, enter. E, enter. Now I have to move to this cell, which is B3, and here I'll write, for example, different regions: Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, and total. Now I'm writing and I'm pressing right arrow key. That is why it is moving towards right. If I press enter, it will go obviously towards down. That is a setting in the file tab that I'll show you later. Now in this case, if I want to navigate, for example, if I want to go to this products, if I press home, I'll go to this product in the very first occupied cell in that row. If I press, or if I want to go to the total, either I go to one by one pressing right arrow key, or if I'm standing on this product and if I press control right arrow, I'll directly jump to this cell. If you want to go to the very first cell of the worksheet, we can press control home, and if I want to go to the very last cell, occupied column and row, I'll press control end. So last occupied column and row it'll jump to. Now there are a few things to copy and paste the data also. First, we need to select the database like this, and then either we can press control C, and wherever we want to paste it, we click over there and we press control V. So it will get copy and pasted over there. This is very usual method. Else, when you can see the data is selected, and if I move my cursor towards the border of this, you can see a four-sided arrow. When I click on it, I can drag it somewhere else. For example, here, if I leave it, you can see that it is there. Now if I again put my cursor over here and clicking on it using control key, and then when I click on it using control key, and now if I drag it, it will copy and paste it also. So these are the few ways that you can use and which are very handy. Now if you want to go to the next worksheet, which is sheet 2, either you click on it using mouse, or you can use a shortcut which is control page down, or if you want to move to the previous worksheet, which is control page up. The last part of this video is how to save the worksheet. You will go to file tab and save as, or you can save it also. If I go to save as, now on this Excel workbook, you can see a lot of options are coming, out of which Excel 97 2003 option is for those people. If you want to send this file to someone else who are using any previous version of Excel, which is between 97 to 2003, you have to save it in this format, else they'll not able to open this file. If you want to go with a normal workbook, then you can go with this Excel workbook and you can click on save. Thank you. In Excel, calculation can be done either using formulas or function. In this video, we're going to see how to use formulas. Both the words seem similar, but there is one difference. Formulas are using calculative operators like plus, minus, multiplication, and so on. But formulas are predefined name to some task. Both are being used and start with an equal to sign in Excel. Let's see how we can do that. We have this small piece of data in which we have number of units sold of products given in Delhi, Mumbai, and Kolkata. So let's see how we can calculate it. There is one way which is the wrong way. I'll show you that first, which is always start with equal to sign, and then let's say we want to do the sum of these three values. So I'll type in 612 plus, using that plus operator, 608 plus 597. And then I have to press enter, that we have already discussed. So when I press enter, you can see the total is coming. This is one way. The right way is we press equal to sign, and then instead of writing those numbers, we select the cells, which is this B2 plus C2 plus D2. And when I press enter, it is also showing me the sum. You cannot see any difference in both these things, but there is a huge difference. Let's see what I'm trying to explain you. If I write, or if I change any content in the cells, let's say if I change it to 500, and when I press enter, you can see that this is not changing, but this is changing. So this is we actually want. The perfect way of using Excel is making things dependent, linked. Do not use hard-coded numbers ever. So this is one way to do the sum. After that, if you want to do the sum of these numbers over here, we need not to do it again and again. If you go to the right bottom corner of this particular selection, you can see the plus sign is coming. So either you can click on it and drag it one by one. This will also work. Let me undo it. And the other way is you can see this plus sign, and if I double click on this, it will copy and paste it directly. Because the logic behind it, that it knows that there is some data on the left, either on the left or on the right side of this column. So that is why it is doing it. Now the average is, again, you can do equals to this total and then divided by the number of content, which is 3. When we press enter, it will show me the average of the units sold in these 3 regions. Again, if I double click on it, it will copy and paste, but before that the number of decimal places are pretty much big. If you look at it, we can either increase or decrease this. When I click on it, it will decrease it. If I click on this, it will increase the number of decimal places. So let me decrease it to, let's say, 1, and then when I double click on it, it will copy and paste it down. The same way a subtraction we can do, which is equals to, you can take it any number. I don't have a correct example right now. b2 minus this, and when I press enter, it would be showing in negative. So let's say this minus this, and when I press enter, it will show me the subtraction. And if I copy and paste it down again the same way, it will show me the subtraction for all. In the next video, we're going to see how to use functions. Thank you. Knowing the behavior of Excel's rows and column is as important as doing calculation in Excel. In this video, we're going to see that how we can play with columns and rows and data accordingly. So you can see that if you have this set of data, and if you want to insert any column, we have to go to the header of that column. And if I go over here, you can see that it is a bit highlighted. And if I right click on it and I click on insert, a column will get inserted on the left hand side of this with the same formatting, because you can sense it out that we are inserting a column within this data itself. If I insert a column over here without any formatting, and if I click on insert, you can see a column is inserted with nothing formatted. So in this case, if I want to delete this column, again I can right click on this and I can delete. The same way, if I want to insert any row, I can come over here on any row. I'll right click on this and this row gets selected, and if I click on insert, a row will get inserted above that. And if you want to delete it, again right click on it and delete this. Now if you want to delete few cells instead of column and rows, in that case what we can do, we can select the cell itself, and if I press delete on my keyboard, only the content will get deleted. But what if I want to delete everything within the cell? It's formatting also. So in that case, we have to go with this clear, and in this clear you can see the clear all, clear formats, contents, comments and hyperlink. If you delete on your keyboard, it will go with only clear contents, but if you click on clear all, it will clear everything within this cell. Now we'll select this range itself and we can go on with clear and clear all. Everything will get clear. Now one more thing, if you want to cut any column and insert it somewhere else, so we'll click on it, we'll click on this cut and we click over here, and I want to insert this lower cases between column B and A. So I'll right click over here and I'll click on insert cut cells, so it will paste it over here. In the same manner, the row, if I select it and I right click and I cut it, and if I want to put it before Mohit, so I'll right click over here and insert cut cells. In the same manner, if you want to insert multiple columns or multiple rows, in that case I have to select those rows and I'll right click over here, I'll cut on it and I'll click over here, insert and insert cut cells, so multiple rows can get inserted. And if you want to insert multiple blank rows, in that case again I'll select it over here, I'll right click and I'll click on insert. You can see that it is get inserted. And if I want to delete it, again I'll select it, right click and I click on delete. It's very handy to use shortcuts in this case, and these are very beautiful and very simple to use. I'll explain you that if you want to insert a row before Ravi, so I'm standing on Ravi, I'll press Alt and then I for insert, and R for row. So it will insert a row. If I want to insert a column before expenses, I'll stand anywhere in this column. I'll press Alt, I, and C is for column. If you want to insert any new worksheet, just have a look at it. I'll press Alt, then I, then W. It will insert a new worksheet before that for me. Pretty cool, isn't it? And by any chance, if you want to delete the column which you have inserted and you do not want it, or any other column, we'll press Alt, E for edit, D, and then R. R is for row or column maybe right now. So I'll press C, and if I press OK, it will delete that column. And if I want to delete this row, I'll stand somewhere within the row, Alt, E, D, R, and if I press OK, it will get deleted. Thanks. Sometimes we come across the need of searching data in Excel. For example, in this case, if I want to search the name which is Rabi, so in that case, else we can press Control F, which is a shortcut, or I can go to the home, and you can see on the right hand corner, which is find and select. I click on it, you can see the find function. I click on it again, you can see that it is there. I've already typed in to try it before recording this video. So let me find it out again. Few options, let me remove it. So if I type again, which is Ravi, and if I click on this find next, so it will find one by one. If I click on this find all, it will show me a list over here in this worksheet, wherever we have this word Ravi and the name of the cells. If I click on that, it will go to that particular cell and I can find it out. If you want to find out Ravi only in this particular column, in A column, select the column itself, or you can select the range itself, and then you can press Control F and then Ravi, and if I find it, now it will find only in the selection. It is pretty much handy. And if you want to replace Ravi with any other text or any number, so you'll go to this Ravi, and Ravi, I want to change it with Samir, for example, and I have a selection only, so I can replace all or replace one by one. If I click on replace all, let's see, now it has replaced, and there are 4 replacements in total. I press OK, and if I press close, there is again a shortcut to replace it, which is Control H is to replace, Control F is to find, and Control H is to replace. Now in any case, if you have some data in your sheet for which you want to do a spelling check, so in that case I have written a small text over here which is hello and welcome. Intentionally I have written a wrong spelling for and welcome. Now I have selected this cell, and I can go to review, and either I click on the spelling, or there is a shortcut for that which is F7. So I click on it, I can see that is coming, and it is straight away showing me that A and DD is basically a suggestion is and. So I can click on this change, and that will get changed, and again welcome, so I can click on change, and it is get changed. Now in this case, you can say that my name is Lokesh. So if I write LOK and if I press enter, it will making my whole name, because what I have done is I have put in the name over here as RAV, for example, and if I press enter, it is not showing Ravi. Why? For that, if you want to add anything specifically in your program, Excel program, we have to go to File tab, Options, and in option we have to go with Proofing, Autocorrect options. In here, for example, I want RAV to be replaced with RAVI Ravi, and I click on add. I'll press OK, again OK, and again RAV, enter, and there we go, that Ravi is coming. So you can put your company's name which you're using again and again, or your name or any customer's name, so that would be pretty handy. Thank you. After entering the data and performing calculations, it is very important to format the cells. In this case, I have created a small piece of data on which we are going to format the cells to make it a more attractive report for people to whom we are about to send this report. In this case, you can see this is the title of the report, but right now it is not coming correctly. So in this case, what I want is that I should select the cells and I want to merge it through. So in this case, I have selected it, and you can see that merge and center option. There are a lot of options that you can see over here, merge across, merge cells, but right now I want to go with merge and center. When I click on it, you can see the impact over here. And then, as it's a title, I need to change few things in it. For example, the font. the font style that you can change. For example, right now I can go with Arial. If I choose it, now it's a heading, so I should also increase the font size, and let me increase it to 16. And right now I can put it bold and italic. I'm not sure that we are going to put it italic because it's a title, and an underline is also not required. You can also increase or decrease the size using these A's. This is to increase it and this is to decrease it. And the cell, you can see right now we can change the color also. We can give a color, but it's a professional advice that I can give you. Do not assign those very highlighted color or very bright color. If you want to use the color, always use a very light color, or you do not use a color. Always try to avoid it. For example, I can go with this very light color, and now you can see that these are the headings of this report. So I'll select it and I click on bold itself. I'm not going to increase the font size, but I put it bold to stand it apart. Do the same thing for this also. I'll bold it. The shortcut for this is Control B, which is a universal shortcut. And in this case, I want to put a grid over here. So I'll select this whole data and I'll put a border over it. You can see a lot of options are coming in this border. We'll go with all border. I'll click on it and here we go. You can see the impact. Now I'll select this whole data, and in place of putting it on the left, either on the left or right align, what I'll do, I'll put it as center align. Now you will see the difference and it'll look pretty good. In the end, what we'll do, we'll select the whole table and we'll put another border, which is a thick border. It's all up to you. Formatting is all up to you, but it's just a few things that makes pretty graceful about this. You can also change the font color if you want, but I obviously always go with this black one because that's pretty much professional as compared to other different colors. You can also change the direction or orientation of this. You can see it, you can change it also. A lot of things are available. As and when you can see, for example, if I change it to products from India, and if I press enter, you can see that it's not coming in this cell. In that case, either I expand the width as we have discussed earlier also, but somehow the problem is that the width of B column is pretty much big as compared to the rest of the columns, which is kind of not symmetrical. So I'll undo it by pressing Ctrl Z, and in this case what I'll do, I'll increase the width of this row by clicking on it and dragging it a bit down. And now as I'm standing on this cell, I'll click on this wrap text. When I click on it, it'll fit in this particular cell, and now there's again not symmetrical things that you can see that this is filled and these are a bit empty and these are down aligned. So what I'll do, I'll select it in total and I'll click on this middle align. So now it is looking pretty much good as compared to earlier formatting. Now this is one way to do it. Else, if you want to change the width of the column or a row, we have a direct options which are available under these cells group and format. You can see this row width. If I click on it, you can actually assign a number to it. For example, right now it is 20.25. So let me change it to 22. And if I press OK, you can see it will increase. So these are the ways that you can use. Apart from that, as we have formatted it manually, we do have already predefined styles under the styles and cell styles. You can see different styles available and you can choose any titles style if you are looking for this. It will save a bit of time, but I really prefer to go it by my way. Else you can choose these headings also. These are also good. No issues with that. Different colors are also available. And you can actually create a new style that you have created and save it over here for future use. The other way is that you can actually select the data like this, and we have a direct formatting as a table styles. If I click on it, you can see a lot of styles are there. If I choose any one style like this, if I press OK, you can see that a table is formed by Excel itself. Thank you. Formatting cells and columns is different from formatting a number, which is a very important part of Excel. In this video, we're going to emphasize on this part. If you look at this data, we do have a lot of numbers with us. And these are numbers, we cannot say that what are these? These are amount, these are units, or what are they? That's why formatting is really very important. So for example, we click on this number and I want that this is actually an amount. So in this case, I want to change it to a currency. So right now you can see this dollar sign. We have to look at this number group. And in this case, in this drop down, you can see it is journal right now. And if I want, I can change it to a currency also. When I change it, it'll show me a dollar sign. But maybe I don't want this dollar sign, I want an Indian rupee currency. So either I right click on this and click on format cells, this is one way, or I can click on this launcher, or I can also press a shortcut which is Control+1 on your keyboard. It'll open up this format cells dialog box. In this case, if I click on this, as we are into the currency part, I click on it, and if I press I, I'll go to INR, which is Indian rupee. If I press OK, it'll change into INR this. Now as I have formatted this cell, I can see that decimal places are pretty much back. So I want to remove these decimal places also through these arrow keys. If I click on this, this is to decrease it. If I click on this, this is to increase it. So let me decrease these, and after that I want this formatting to all of these numbers. So instead of doing it again and again, what I can do is, there is one very important part of this option is available in whole MS Office, this format painter. Under the home tab, clipboard group, format painter. When I'm standing on this and I want to copy only the format of this cell, not the actual value, so I'll click on it, I'll click it once, and you can see that a brush is coming with this cursor, and when I click somewhere else, that formatting will get copied. Now I want it on all these cells, so I'll click on it and I'll drag it like this, and you can see that it is changed in these. Let me do it for these cells also, the rest of the cells like this, and let me increase the width of these columns, and now you can see that after every click that option is going away. So there is one way to do that, is when I click on it, I press double click on it, then I can do it multiple times instead of one time, and when I press escape on my keyboard, that option will go away. Now let me calculate it. For example, percentage of total. So I'll press equal to, and I want to calculate the percentage of this pen with total. So I'll click on it, I'll divide it by the total value, and I press enter. So it is showing me this INR, which is actually not the way, it is a percentage. So I don't want a currency, I want a percentage. So when I click on it, you can see now it is in percentage. And if I want to increase the decimal places, I can by clicking this arrow key. And in case if I want to show any number into thousands or hundred places, so if I write, let's say, any number over here, when I press comma, it will count out that hundreds and thousands places. I can remove these decimal places as we have already discussed. Now these are the ways through which we can do the number formatting. Apart from that, the date formatting is also very important. I have written 20th of May 1980. Now this formatting I want to change. This is right now month, day and year format. If I want to change to any other format, I can go with all those ways which are format cells, or Control+1. So it will show me this box where it is date. So I can select any predefined format which are available over here. For example, this one, and I press OK. So it will show me the sample over here. So 20th May 80. So if I press OK like this, but I'm not satisfied with this. For example, I want to create my own format over here. So I'll press Control+1 and I'll go to custom. In custom, you can see the sample is coming, but I can over here I can type in. So let me remove it, and let's say I say that D, you can see the 20 is coming, DD / and then M, which is 5, again M, 05, again M, so it will define the whole month, / Y, so it will show me the year also. When I press OK, and there we go, we have this option with us. The formatting is available. Thank you. After setting up the worksheet, entering data, performing calculation, creating report, now it's time to print the report. We have this set of data that we are working on to print it. In this case, the best way which I can suggest you is always go with the print option directly. There we can see that what is lacking behind and what we need to improve. In this case, there are two options that we can go ahead with. The first one is either you can go with a shortcut which is Control+P, else you can go to the File tab, and there you can see the print option. When I click on print option, you can see a lot of options are coming. And here you can see the orientation of this, which is portrait or landscape, that you can choose upon, and else a lot of things. But before that, go into these options, just have a look at the preview that we are getting right now. We have in total 2 pages. The first page, if I click on it, this is the second page. Seems not correct, I think. because half of the smart art is coming over here and half is falling in the next page. So a lot of things that we can improve over here. So let's say instead of going to these options, everything is covered up in this page setup option. If I click on it, here we go. The very first tab is page tab, and this the orientation is giving. You can adjust the size of the font, which is 100% right now. You can change it. You can narrow it down a bit. That also seems fine. But as per my practical experience, you cannot go below 65%. That looks very small. If you have very small data which is coming on the next page, in that case you can click on fit one, so everything gets fit in single page. The second one is the margin part. This is very much important that you can size upon on the margins on left, right, top and bottom. Header and footer margins also. Right now you can see that there are a lot of spaces are coming right hand side. So in that case, instead of handling these margins, we can center the page. Just have a look. If I click on this horizontal and vertical, you can see the preview over here. And when I press OK, just see the impact. Now this is looking pretty cool. Instead of that, a lot of things that we can work upon, we have to go to the home tab first, and still few things are not matching correctly. Right now we are into the normal mode. We can go to the page layout or page break preview. If we go to the page layout view, this looks like this. But this is actually not a page layout. The best way to go with is this page break preview. Here you can see that customer is not coming in that range. So right now, if I go a bit down, you can see this is how it is happening. A kind of watermark that you can see is page 1 and below is page 2. And what I want is I want to take in this customer field also. So when I move my cursor towards this blue line, you can see the two-headed arrow is coming. I'll click on it and I expand it to cover this customers also in my range. Now I'll go to the normal view, and here you can see this dotted line is coming. It means this is in there. When I press Ctrl P, now you can see that customer is also coming up. It is also a good option to set up the print area in advance. When we send a report to someone else, we can set up in advance so that the next person to whom we are sending the file will be able to print it very comfortably. Right now you can see that if I press Ctrl P, the area is coming like this, which is perfectly fine. But what if it is not coming correctly? In that case, for example, if I don't want that whole page to be my print area, in this case I want to be printed only till here, till the smart art. In that case, I have to go with this page layout, print area, set print area. And now if I press Ctrl P, this is coming like this, page 1 and page 2. A small portion is coming in page 2. So that's here that page break preview comes in. Here you can see that blue line again, which is denoting for page 2. So now I move my cursor over here, I drag it a little bit down and cover up this area also. Now I know the size of my font will decrease a bit, but I can see everything in single page like this. Thank you.